Hello, darlings. I hope that you are feeling fabulous today, but if not, maybe you will by the end of the video. I have no idea, because I have no idea what this video is or what we're getting ourselves into. But wherever you are, good, bad, or crazy, you could check in here. We got your back. That's how we shatter the mental health stigma. And for those of you that are new, I'm Amanda, and on this channel, that's what we're all about, is shattering the mental health stigma. Before we continue, please make sure to make sweet, sweet love to that subscribe button and give the bell a few kisses so you're not missing any of this content that is designed to help you with your mental health or help you help someone else. It's also the best way to support that mission of shattering the mental health stigma and the best way to support the channel. Today, I am going to be reacting to Mansion by NF, and I have no exposure to NF, but my amazing, glorious Patreon, Jeff Baskin, told me I should dive in. So I listen to all of you loves. I really, really appreciate you, Jeff. Thank you so much. If you guys haven't had a chance to check out my Patreon, please make sure to do so. Link is in the description. Every single dime goes toward my mental health outreach, and you get so many goodies, from priority song requests to sneak peeks at my upcoming reactions for the channel, reactions I exclusively do for my Patreons, personalized stuff, just so many goodies. So make sure to check that out. Like I said, link is in the description. But today I am going to be doing Mansion by NF, so let's see what we have in store. I feel like anything will be a little lighter than the last reaction, so let's go.
Insidious is blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion.
Yo, my mind is a house with walls, covered in lyrics, they're all over the place. The songs in the mirrors, written all over the floors, all over the chairs. And you get the uncut version of life when I go downstairs. That's where I write when I'm in a bad place and need to release, and let out the version of NF you don't want to see. I put holes in the walls with both of my fists till they bleed, and you might get a glimpse of how I cope with all this anger in me. Physically abused, now that's the room.
I actually want to touch just a little bit before it goes on. You know, we start diving right in with FOMO and with our tendency to break ourselves on the hedonic treadmill, but we remain blind to the damage that we cause, right? The hedonic treadmill, that we're constantly chasing something else. We're constantly trying to find some other vice or some other pleasure, and we never feel at baseline, we never feel fulfilled or happy, or that's the trap that many people get stuck in. But I think that the downstairs and the mirrors being referenced are symbolic to introspection, to the hard stuff, and that he fears being judged. I mean, who doesn't fear being judged, right? He wants to, open up, but he fears being judged.
Physically abused, now that's the room that I don't want to be in. That picture ain't blurry at all, I just don't want to see it. And these walls ain't blank, I just think I don't want to see them. But why not? I'm in here, so I might as well read them. I gotta thank you for this anger that I carry around. Wish I could take a match and burn this whole room to the ground. Matter of fact, I think I'ma burn this room right now. Somehow this memory for some reason just won't go down. Put me in the corner so you could see the fear in my eyes, then took me downstairs and beat me till I screamed and I cried. Congratulations, you'll always have a room in my mind, but I'ma keep the door shut and lock the lyrics inside.
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's lonely inside this mansion. Inside this
Yo,
mansion.
my mind is a house with walls, covered in pain. See, my problem is I don't fix things, I just try to repaint. Cover them up like it never happened. Say I wish I could change. Are you confused? Come upstairs and I'll show you what I mean. This room's full of regrets, just keeps getting fuller it seems. Moment I walk into, it's the same moment that I wanna leave. I get sick to my stomach every time I look at these things, but it's hard to look past when this is the room where I sleep. I look around, one of the worst things I wrote on these walls was the moment I realized that I was losing my mom. And one of the first things I wrote was I wish I would've called. But I should just stop now, we ain't got enough room in this song. And I regret the fact that I struggle trying to find who I am. And I'll lie to myself and say I do the best that I can. Shrug it off like it ain't nothing, like it's out of my hand. And get ticked off whenever I see it affecting my plans. And I regret watching these trust issues eat me alive. And at the rate I'm going, I'll probably still be there when I die. Congratulations, you'll always have a room in my mind. The question is, will I ever clean the walls off in time? Oof.
Insidious as blind inception. What's reality with all these questions? Feels like I missed my alarm and slept in. And slept in. Broken legs, but I chase perfection. These walls are my blank expression. My mind is a home I'm trapped in, and it's only inside this mansion. Inside this mansion.
So this part of my house.
I think that obviously the mansion is a metaphor for the trauma. He's compartmentalized in different rooms, and there's this confliction between ruminating to the point of self-destruction and repressing, knowing it's going to backfire. And that's so heartbreaking. He wants to be understood, you know, his internal struggle between wanting to change and heal and feeling crippled and overwhelmed. And the room where he sleeps is obviously his subconscious. He feels like he doesn't have control over that and that he's powerless. He's powerless over it as it just multiplies his regrets and his trauma. And I know that I've been trapped in that room before. I really like this analogy. I never thought of it like a house, but that makes sense because you do put things in different compartments in different rooms. You put your traumas in one, you put your successes in one, and you kind of push certain ones away. You don't ever want to look in them, but then you feel yourself getting shoved into them anyway. So I really like that analogy. It reminds me of the movie Rose Red, Stephen King movie.
So this part of my house, no one's been in it for years. I built the safe room and I don't let no one in there. Cause if I do, there's a chance that they might disappear and not come back. And I admit, I am emotionally scared to let anyone inside. So I just leave my doors locked. You might get other doors to open up, but this door's not. Cause I don't want you to have the opportunity to hurt me. And I'll be the only person that I can blame when you desert me. I'm barricaded inside, so stop watching. I'm not coming to the door, so stop knocking. Stop knocking. I'm trapped here. God keeps saying I'm not locked. I chose this. I am lost in my own conscience. I know that shutting the world out ain't solving the problem, but I didn't build this house because I thought it would solve them. I built it because I thought that it was safer in there, but it's not. I'm not the only thing that's living in here. Fear came to my house years ago. I let him in. Maybe that's a problem, cause I've been dealing with this ever since. I thought that he would leave, but it's obvious he never did. He must have picked a room and got comfortable and settled in. Now I'm in a position it's either sit here and let him win or put him back outside where it came from, but I never can. Cause in order to do that, I'd have to open the doors. Is that me or the fear talking? I don't know anymore.
To answer that question, it's the fear talking. It's definitely the fear talking. The fear is kind of like an entity of its own. I call my fear and my symptoms and stuff my shadow. And it seems like it's kind of an entity of its own. And when you think of it like that, of course it wants you to be afraid. Of course it doesn't want you to heal, because then it becomes irrelevant. Then it becomes almost extinct. Not quite extinct, it'll always be there, but it won't have power anymore, and it's holding on to that. My favorite part of the whole song was where he's saying, I lie to myself and say I do the best I can. Okay, I'm going to say something controversial here, because this is what snapped to really push me forward in my journey. Was when I was on the ledge, I felt like I had done everything. I was on this ledge, I was ready to jump, because I felt like I'd done everything, and I was hopeless, and I was desperate, and I just wanted the pain to end. And a song coming on at the right place and right time is what brought me down. But I realized several days later, after a really ridiculous therapy appointment, where I was told that people like me would never actually be happy, that that wasn't possible. I was just so driven to find something more and to find healing, but I was so discouraged by this appointment. But I ended up being told by probably the one person I would listen to at the time, at least with a tough love, because I don't receive tough love well. I was told, you did this to yourself, it's on you to undo it. And I was so mad, I broke my phone. But you know what? I'm going to be that for y'all right now. It is not your fault that you went through pain, trauma, symptoms of depression or anxiety. It's not your fault, but you have a lot of power to move forward through these things, to heal and to process. And the more that you repress, the more that you lock these things away, the more that you ignore them, the more they're going to build and the more intense they get. We actually have so much power to really be in optimal mental health. And that's going to look different for everyone. Everyone's optimal mental health, everyone's happiness spectrum is going to be different. But it's very possible for you to do things on your own that will move you forward. And I have a free 5-day challenge where I teach that. You can click the link below to join that. And I just teach what I did that brought people, or that brought me out of that darkness. And it's helped a lot of other people, just kind of having some kind of structure. Works great with therapy or not. But the final part discuss the parts that he hides in fear of judgment, in fear of rejection, in fear of abandonment. And right here, I have a huge fear of abandonment. I think that that was one of the defining traits of me for years and years, and I still struggle a lot with it even when I'm in a comfortable situation like I am now. I'm always just terrified that I'm going to do something wrong and lose the people that mean the most to me. But it is a common defense mechanism to push people away, but it turns into a cruel, ironic, self-fulfilling prophecy, because you know that doing it won't actually fix things, like he says, but you do it, and then of course people end up isolating from you, end up allowing you to go into your hole, because they think that that's what's needed. They think that that's what you want and that's what you need. So of course then they start to leave you alone, not knowing the pain that you're going through, at least not realizing the depth of it. So you've just fulfilled your own prophecy. You were afraid of people abandoning you, so you pushed them away so they couldn't, but now you're isolated and alone. So it just becomes a cruel irony. But knowing that doing this won't actually fix things, but getting comfortable, too comfortable by the familiar hell loop that you've self-imposed. He self-imposed this hell loop, but he's too comfortable by the familiarity to unlock the door and embark on the odyssey that will help you find the good beyond the ugly and beyond the scary. You have to open that door. You have to go out there. And yeah, there's going to be horrible people and ugly situations, but there's also caring, compassionate people and beautiful situations. And I remember thinking that the whole world was dark and horrible, and that there was no love and no joy and nothing to be said. I really thought that I just had this bleak, tragic fate, and I didn't. And I ended up writing recently, I made a blog about it, or a vlog about it, where I ended up writing all of the things that I would have missed out on had I jumped. And there's so many things I would have never experienced, or would have never even known to pursue or to allow to happen. I wouldn't have been open to those things I'm so grateful I snapped out of that mindset. So I really encourage you to look at yourself and see if you're really living a life that's conducive to optimal mental health, no matter what has happened to you, because I've seen trauma, I've seen pain, I've seen abandonment, I've been screwed over by people, I've been homeless, I've been addicted, I've been everything that you could possibly be. I've lost everyone pretty much close to me, but I still found a way to be happy and a way to be fulfilled. And part of that was work I did myself, and part of that was allowing other people to help me. And that's what's important, is finding that balance. I really like this. I like having new metaphors and new visions because it helps me when I'm visualizing and when I'm trying to explain what it's like to have these different feelings and thoughts and emotions and experiences. I like having different metaphors because I think that everyone responds to different visuals better than others. Everyone kind of has their own things that they're going to respond to better than others. So it's nice to always have different options in the tool belt when you're trying to express yourself to someone or talk to someone. So I really liked this. It was nice. Thank you, Jeff, for recommending this to me, and all the people in the comments over the last few months that have been really pushing me. I finally got to it. So thank you so much. As always, share your story here in the comments. That's how we shatter the mental health stigma. Good, bad, or crazy, we got your back. So just pop in and tell us your story. Share this video. You never know who might need to see it. Give it a thumbs up. And I love you guys so, so, so much. Mwah.